That's great. You guys are wonderful. Of course, I would like to thank Sheda. You know, we met a couple of months ago when we talked about what our organizations are doing. We realized that we have a lot in common, bringing people together, introducing them to each other by volunteering and doing good things for the communities, and also with delicious food. And that's great. Go eat and give. They do wonderful stuff, and I enjoyed, you know, seeing and learning of their activities. Hopefully, maybe next year, we can organize a trip together to Turkey this time. I want to first, of course, join to their trip to Cuba. Don't miss that. They're going to be doing this year. And like them, you know, we've been doing trips to Turkey for a long time, since 2005. And I have many friends here tonight with me. John Ford and Hillary, who's been to Turkey, and Roy and Kimberly going to Turkey. So anybody else who's been to Turkey before? This is making things difficult for me, because now I have to be extra careful about what I say. And since my friends already heard about my, you know, jokes again and again, that's also another thing, another problem. So hopefully I'll try to make it as joyful for you as the food, and we're going to do this for you. So, you know, growing up in Turkey is, you know, when you grow up in your hometown, nothing is different for you, right? It's like usual way of life. You just go to school, you just learn the things they've been taught to you, and then you think you know everything about your country and the way you live and where you come from. But I realized that I learned more about my country after I got to the United States. Interesting enough, first of all, I'm from a small town, Tokat. Not many people know it, but everybody knows Veni Vici when Caesar said, you know, in the war with the Boston King, right? When he had the war in Turkey. Actually, he had the war in my hometown. So there's a restaurant here in Midtown. They have the name Veni Vici, and I'm going to Turkey this summer. Let the town council members know that they took the name, so we plan to sue them because it's our right. So that's one thing that I'm going to do this summer. But I didn't know about it before I got to the United States. So one day I was reading some articles about Turkey on Wikipedia, and I learned this fact from Wikipedia, and if it's on Wikipedia, it must be right, right? So that's one thing that I learned about Turkey. Second thing, I've never been to Ephesus before I got to the United States. So first I saw Miami, then I saw Ephesus, which was just 60 miles from my high school. So that's another thing, because I went to a high school in Izmir, and it was like almost 60 miles, and I've never been to Ephesus. Why? You know, it's Ephesus, it's right there, I can go anytime, right? So I could only go there in 2006. So these trips are wonderful opportunities for you to learn other places and also about yourself. Speaking about these trips and learning about our cultures, the first thing that I learned about the United States was how nice the cars are in this country, and the colors of the cars, the styles and the models, because I learned them through this famous show called Night Riders. You know David Hasselhoff and Night Riders? He's the first Christian that I had ever learned. You know? So he's the first guy, and the car was great, the kid, the Night Rider. So when I first came to Miami, I thought all the cars were speaking and all this high-tech technology. So when you learn things from media, you know, there's a limit that it matches with the reality. So I urge you to go eat, give in different places and learn more about those things. We are in Atlanta right now, which is a great city, and there are many great Turkish Americans living in this town. Muhtar Kent, the chairman and CEO of Coca-Cola, right? And I'm sure in this restaurant they only serve Coke products, right? And also the vice president is also from Turkey, Ahmet Bozer. And the third most famous Turkish is me, but not many people know me, but I'm getting there. So, but there are a lot of things going on between Turkey and the United States. You know, we of course know that Turkey is a NATO member, and you know, it's our allies. They helped us a lot, you know, in the region and everything. But the history of Turkish-American relations has a long, you know, precedence, long history that goes back to all the way to the founding of the United States. The first official relationship between Turkey and the States is dating to 1802, when President Jefferson appointed the first consul to Smyrna, the biblical Smyrna, Izmir. So in 1802, an American consul going to Smyrna is an important thing because Smyrna was not only an economic place for the American foods and services or imports of figs and other things from the Aegean Sea, Aegean region of Turkey, but also it was important for many American schools, missionary schools that were opening up in Turkey. Many hospitals were started to open after this relationship, so it goes all the way to 1800s. Since then, Turks and Americans started to share a lot of things with each other. The first thing that I always say, and many people are surprised to hear, is that the Turkish reform process that started in 1839, that gave equal citizenship rights to all and each and every individual in Turkey, is a major, you know, breakthrough in the traditional Ottoman system. It was influenced by the Americans. So in 1839, when Turks made this major reform, they got it actually from Virginia Bill of Rights. Not many people know this, but Turkish Bill of Rights dates 1839, is influenced by Virginia Bill of Rights, which influenced U.S. Declaration of Independence, U.S. Bill of Rights, even French Revolution and everything. But it's interesting to know that it's actually influenced another Muslim country over there that early on. So when you compare the documents, both documents now, historians say that Turks got it actually from the Americans. So another thing you might find interesting, the first time ever in Turkish history a journalist using the term democracy in a newspaper article. It was 1870, by the way. He gave the United States as the role model for Turkey. So first time somebody talking about democracy in a newspaper article, and he's talking about the United States as a role model. So this relationship between Turkey and the States has a long history, and this gentleman called Ali Suavi, I read a lot about him. He's a major reformer journalist in the late Ottoman era. He was, you know, considering the U.S. as a role model with the presidential system, local representation, and also the place of religion for the Americans. You know, America, with the separation of church and state, it is a secular country, but also there is a place of religious practice free for all, and that was one thing Turks loved even back then in the late Ottoman era. But of course, when you have this relationship in the late Ottoman era, it didn't stop there. Even in the early Republican era, there were many exchanges of ideas between Turkey and the States. For example, in 1943, when Turkish president met with President FDR in Cairo for the Cairo conference during the Second World War, FDR urged Turkey to go into a multi-party system. And this was one of the reasons why Turkey had the first multi-party system elections in 1945 with the support of President FDR. So that's also another reason why these two countries learned from each other. And for the case of Turkey, Turks got probably more from the United States in terms of democracy and economic aid and security provided through the Cold War. Of course, speaking of Cold War, Turks all know about the danger of the Soviet Union at the time, and that was also one thing they loved a lot about the United States. So my journey to the United States is probably a result of these things that I learned later on. Of course, I didn't know the details of what Jefferson did or what Turkish journalists talked about, in 1870s, but there was this underlying conscious or information or understanding about the United States. So in late 90s, when I wanted to go abroad to study, US was my only option or the place that I had in mind. I never thought about going to Europe, never thought about going somewhere else. It was only the United States, like many others among my peers, because there is this underlying thing that many Turks share about the United States. So that's why if you go to Turkey, you would see many people thinking like in these lines that about Americans, what the United States means to them, and of course, maybe we should also thank David Hasselhoff for contributing to this process as well. Other than that, Turkey is not only a country over there with a different country, ethnic background and everything, but it is very close to us. Not many people know, but 2/3 of the things mentioned in Bible, the people, places, persons, events, they actually happened or they are in Turkey. So if you did not read Bible recently, you can go read again one more time. A suggestion from a Muslim Turkish friend of yours to read the Bible and learn your Turkish roots and find it and go and find it also in Turkey. The most important thing, I kept it to the last. Santa Claus is also from Turkey. You know Saint Nicholas? He was actually from Antalya, a seaside shore, city in South Turkey, and he was known for his long beard, carrying big bags of stuff to help poor and needy. So if Santa is from Turkey, you must go there and see what it really means to be a real Santa. And it's not the fake ones that you find here. And if you don't believe in Santa, you can tell your kids that it's real and it's from Turkey as well. I know you might have many questions about Turkey, but this is pretty much what I have in mind. You have the food. Cafe Mezo is a great place. It's also my first time here, but I realize that they have wonderful food. If you've been to Turkey, I'm sure you find the similarities here, Mediterranean Turkish food. If you've not been to Turkey, it's a nice start, and I commend you that you pick here, a nice place. Our office, my office, the place that I work in Atlantic Institute, is in also Midtown, close by here. We are in Peachtree and 17th Street. We have branches in the Southeast. We have offices in Miami, Florida, 7 branches in Florida, in South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, and headquarters, of course, in Atlanta. Most of our community members, our donors, they live in North Fulton area. But of course, Marietta, Norcross, many places in Atlanta, there are many Turkish American communities. Turkey is a diverse country. You would find the diverse Turkish community also present in the Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta area. But Turkish community here is not that big. It's probably in 6,000–7,000 people living here. Last time the Consul General of Turkey from New York, he visited here, he told me that in their mailing list there are 7,000 people listed Georgia as their place of stay in the States. And I told him that I have never received any emails from them, so I don't know how many more people might be living in Georgia. But there's one thing good about Georgia is that all the Turks coming here, they come here either for nice education with the nice schools, be it at Emory or Georgia Tech for other tech stuff and other great universities here, or for work in companies that Atlanta is home to. If you go south to Florida, you would find wealthy Turkish businessmen spending their time in South Beach and Miami, Florida, spending their time. And Miami is a very famous place, by the way, in Turkey. After Miami Vice, like wow, if you don't have an apartment or a condo in Miami, you're not rich enough. So I believe Miami market is getting better since then. But there are problems about Atlanta. Many Turks think that Atlanta is the state and Georgia is actually the city. So that's one problem. And sometimes they call it Atalanta. So they love to teach them. So natives of this wonderful city, there are lots of things that you might learn from Turkey, but also there are lots of things that you can teach to Turks. It's not they know something better than you or you know something better than them, but it's just exchange of ideas and sharing our common experiences, and that's what Go in Kyiv does, and that's what is a great effort. So thank you for coming and thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, I'm here for that. Thank you.